Who's he?
Kentman!
He's not important!
Okay. Hello, gamers and collectors. It's your boy Kentman, bringing you that JRPG and fan service content you deserve. And today, we're not actually going to be talking about a lot of fan service or JRPGs. Well, technically JRPGs, but mostly about game collecting, because that's another thing I love to do. I mean, it is part of my intro. Hello, gamers and collectors, that whole spiel, you know? I do talk about that a lot. And today, I'm going to be talking about my weekend trip to Toy Paloa. It's a convention that's in Pennsylvania, and it is a fun ass time. It happens twice a year, and you go and you see a bunch of different toys and gaming from all different types of nerd culture, from Star Wars to Marvel to DC to wrestling to My Little Pony, Care Bears, Nintendo, Pokemon, all kinds of stuff just floating around and just having a good time. It's just so nice just to come into a space where you just see a bunch of nerds gushing and having a passion for their franchise, just finding something new for their collections, and it's just always just fun to go around and see it. And for me, as a nerd, the one thing that I was looking for this year was Atelier, Neptunia, and Simra Kagura games. Now, it's very hard to find Neptunia and Simra Kagura games because they're kind of a niche franchise. As much as I love them and we love them, it is a niche franchise for a lot of people who don't know them, especially with Simra Kagura not having a new game in forever. Most people don't really remember Simra Kagura. Now, Neptunia is a very surprise, but their games are not always a hit for a lot of the wide audience to get to know them, unless you're in the JRPG space or you just know fan service, then you would know about Neptunia, but most people wouldn't. Now, Atelier, on the other hand, has gotten a boost of appeal to a lot of people, mostly because of Ryza and the new game with Yume. So there was a more shot of me finding Atelier more than anything else, but the chances of finding it was still very slim. So as I was going around and talking to different vendors who I do love to showcase on the channel, because with the ever-growing threat of physical media just declining and just the overall scalping issue for retro gaming and overpricing, it's always just fun to just talk to different vendors who actually has a passion for gaming and just retro gaming in general. So after talking to a few people and searching around and looking at all the stuff that was around, I did eventually find a retro game dealer who was selling stuff that I really like.
So I'm Rainbow Road Hobbies and Games. Bobby is Combi Collectibles. We've been best friends for like 15 years, and about 5 years ago, we did this sort of combined business thing where we just vend together. He does all the Pokemon stuff, I do all the video games, and we travel the East Coast and live the dream.
I love it. Two nerds coming together for making the dream work.
That's it.
I love it. I love it.
First, it was the Saga 1, but the case was a little banged up, so I didn't decide to get it. But they did have Disgaea 2, which I did manage to pick up. It was complete in box, has the manual, I can't even open it. Yeah, it's complete in box, has the manual, and the disc was actually pretty good. You know, you can see the whole reflection in my eyes. And I managed to pick this up. The one thing I was very disappointed in is the Suikoden 4. Now, the Suikoden 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. It is the fourth entry in the Suikoden franchise, which is 1 and 2 is getting a remastered. I was going to say remake, but I think it's a remastered for the newer systems for PS5 and Switch. Sometime next year, if Konami actually brings those out. And Suikoden 4 was one of my favorites in that game franchise, because you was a pirate, you get to sail the 7 seas with your whole pirate ship and get a bunch of crew members, and it was a great time. It was a fun time, and I finally found a copy in the wild, but it didn't have a manual, the game was scratched, and the case was damaged, so I didn't get it, and it was such a disappointment. I was so sad because this game is very hard to track down, and I thought I finally found it for a really good price, and it was messed up, and I was so sad. But I did walk away with the Disgaea 2 for actually it was $15 as the price tag, but I managed to haggle it for $12, and you know, I think that's a pretty good deal for a PS2 old game for $12. is a pretty good deal. Now, as I started to look around a little bit more for different types of games for, you know, the Atelier and Neptunia stuff, I was starting to lose hope that I wasn't actually going to find it, because I was looking at a bunch of different stalls and different games and I wasn't able to find anything. But it wasn't actually me that found something, it was my wife, and she managed to find the Atelier game I was not really particularly looking for, but it's Atelier, so I'll take it. And that is Atelier Ashka and Logi. It is the second game within the Dusk trilogy, and I am so happy that I found something. It was only $15. Hopefully I can show that. It was $15 and it was amazing. Manual in the case. The disc is very clean and everything, and I was able to find something for Atelier. I was not actually expected to find something for Atelier. This is a win, a win. Now, I did find another Atelier game at another dealer, but that one was $80, and it was for the PS Vita, which right now I'm not really focusing collecting for the Vita. As of right now, I'm mostly focusing on PS3, PS4, PS5, and you know, so forth and so forth. But eventually I do want to grab that, and I did consider it, but I had like a budget like $200 for this convention that I wanted to stay in, and like I wanted to only like get small things and not big things. Like I wanted to get a bunch of small things and not just one big thing. But regardless, I did manage to buy this, and I was very excited for it and happy for it. So now I can add it to my Atelier collection. And it's the second one in the Dusk trilogy, which I think is the harder one to find. And then there's Shelly and Ayesha, which I do want to get eventually as well. But this is one good step to that goal. But that was not the only thing I bought from this dealer, because I really did like their vibe and their passion for retro gaming. And I actually did talk to them, but before I even show that clip, I did also manage to get Medieval. Now this is a classic game from the PlayStation 1 that got a remake for the PS4, and I'm still waiting for the second one to get remade, but you know, either way, I've been eyeballing this game for a while, and now I was able to get it for only $15, I think? $13. And I'm so happy that I got this, because one, I was never good at this game when I was a kid. One, because it creeped me out because of the skeleton and it was horror. But also, I really did like Sir David, I think his name was. Sir Daniel was his name, sorry. Sir Daniel. And I just liked the gameplay, the goofiness of it, and I like that it actually got a remake. And it feels like PlayStation doesn't really care about a lot of their first party characters anymore, which is sad. But either way, I'm glad that I finally have this. But again, I did talk to this dealer and had a great conversation with him, because I like showcasing mom and pop retro game stores who doesn't get a lot of shine anymore because of the ever-growing threat of physical media just leaving and just stores getting closed down because they just aren't getting enough traction. So I just like showcasing that kind of people.
Our shop's called Retro Eden. We're in Dormont, real close to Dancing Crab Thai, if you can find that. And we do video games, toys, collectibles, emphasis on 80s, give or take a decade. A lot of variety, a lot more stuff in the store, and always getting more.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. I wanted to just showcase people like that on the channel for retro gaming, because the physical media market is always dying, and seeing people like that who cares about gaming is always fun to see. But we do got this Attack on Titan that I've been thinking about. This is where I got the Atelier and the Medieval for, but you know, the Attack on Titan is really cool. We also got Crazy Taxi on the GameCube, which is cool. It's the player's choice one, but that's pretty cool.
But that was pretty much all the games that I saw that I wanted to grab. Like, I mean, there was a bunch of other games that I could have grabbed, from like Pokemon to like Sonic. There's a Princess Peach plushie that I saw that was really cool that I wanted for my collection, but I decided to hold off on it because I wasn't really looking for Princess Peach stuff right now, but I did think about it. But for the amount of stuff that I did grab, I was satisfied with what I found and what I had. The only thing I was battling with was getting the Saga 1 that was damaged a little bit for the case, as well as the Suikoden 4, but I was like, no, I want a good copy of the games that's in pretty good condition. So I decided not to buy anything else, and I walked away with 3 games. And I think that's a pretty good win for like a 2-hour time at this convention. And it was a pretty good little retro game collecting. But that was not the only thing that I got. Now, you'll be able to see this in my wife's video if you go check out her video, Boba Doggo, of all the stuff that she got. But we did find this other dealer that was selling a bunch of pins, and she had, you know, all kinds of different pins from Pokemon to Miyazaki films and everything. And one of the things that they was selling was these TCG cards of Bleach. And because my wife bought a bunch of pins, she ended up just throwing this in for free because I was talking about it, and she was very sweet and lovely people. And I wanted to see what we get, because one, I do know there is a new Bleach TCG. Well, it's part of a new game from Bandai called Union Arena, and I know those are official, and I don't know if these are actually official or not, but I do want to see what they are and if we get something good. Now, part of the collectors in me doesn't want to open these, but I do want to see what's inside. So let's just take a look and see what's inside. Let me try to not rip the package too much. All right, so first of all, I like that it shows the Ichigo visor mask back there on the back, and it has Bleach. It has a nice aesthetic. Okay, so we're gonna go from this right here. We got Ichigo. Oh, we did get Ichigo, visored Ichigo, which is pretty sick, man. That's so sick. It's half visored Ichigo, which is sick as hell. Okay, we did get an Ichigo, which I'm happy about that. And oh, you only get 2 cards inside, and you get an Aizen before he betrayed everybody. And Aizen, SSR Aizen. This is before he took off his glasses and became Hot Aizen, but he was kind of hot. And this is an SSR. Now, again, I don't know if these are actually real or not, but I think they're cool nonetheless. And they're like cardstock. They feel kind of real, and they have a holographic style to them. And like, if you know, I managed to find more of these, I don't mind buying these just as a cute little thing to have. Like, it's really cool that they have that. So again, there's only 2 cards that come into the pack, which is odd, but you know, I'm not mad at it. This is an ultra rare, while this one is an SSR. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But that is pretty much everything that I got from Toy Palooza. It was a fun time, and I love going every year. It happens twice a year, and the next one will happen in March. So whenever that does happen, you'll probably see another one of these videos before. But that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know down in the comments down below, do you like going to gaming conventions or toy conventions or gaming conventions, whatever you like going to? Let me know how you guys feel. What are some games that you are looking for on the hunt for your game collections? Because I would love to know down in the comments down below. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe for more. I'm trying to hit 10K by the end of the year, and with your help, I can definitely do that. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video next time. Bye me.